Before you move on and keep looking at your screen, I want you to listen to something very important that most men never get told in their whole lives. You have been reading her the wrong way this entire time. It is not because you are not smart. It is not because you do not pay attention. It is simply because nobody ever sat you down and taught you how women actually show they like you. This one thing you did not know has likely cost you more than you even realize. Please stay with me. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly what you have been missing. By the end of our talk today, you are going to know 8 very specific things that show a woman is deeply drawn to you. Even when she acts like she is not interested at all, these signs are there, and I am going to show you something even bigger than that. I am going to explain why the men who are the most attractive are almost always the last ones to find out. But first, I want to ask you a question that is a bit personal. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like you were a ghost? Like nobody even saw you? Have you ever sat at home and played a conversation over and over in your head, wondering if she was actually interested or if you were just making it up in your mind? Have you ever thought to yourself that maybe you are just not that guy who gets the girl? If that sounds like you, I want you to take a deep breath right now. Just let it out. What you are about to hear might completely change how you look at the last few years of your life. The men who ask themselves these questions the most are often the men women are drawn to the most. It is not because they are loud or full of themselves. It is because of their presence. We are going to talk about what that really means. But before we get into it, if this is your first time joining our group of friends, make sure you stay with us. These talks are for men who are ready to see themselves for who they really are. Do not miss what we have for you next. Here is something most men were never taught when they were growing up. Women feel attraction in a completely different way than men do. For a man, attraction feels like a straight line. You see someone you like and your brain says, I want to go talk to her. It is very direct. It is like a light turning on. But for women, attraction starts with being aware. A woman will think to herself, does he notice me? She tries to feel your energy before she decides what to do next. She watches. She puts herself in the right spot. She gives you little signals. She does not just walk up and tell you. She sends out small hints. If you have been waiting for a woman to just come out and say she likes you or to chase you down, you have been playing a game that was not built to work that way. So, here is what we are going to do today. I'm going to walk you through 8 very strong signs that you are a man women find very attractive. This is true even if you have been doubting yourself for a long time. As we talk about each one, I want you to be honest with yourself. Do not let your ego get in the way. But do not let your worries stop you either. Just listen and see if you recognize these things. I want you to pay close attention because something happens around sign number 5. Most men who join our talks say that when they get to the 5th sign, something deep inside them starts to shift. Pay attention because that shift might happen to you too. The first sign is when someone looks at you for a long time. This is the most common way people show they like each other, but it is the one thing men miss the most. Here is how it works. You are in a normal place, maybe a place where people buy coffee, a place to exercise, or a meeting for work. You look up and your eyes meet her eyes, but instead of looking away quickly like people usually do when they see a stranger, she keeps looking. She holds your gaze for just 1 second longer than she has to. There is a small pause, a tiny moment where everything feels still, and then she looks away. Most men think that was nothing. They think she was just looking around, but in our minds that 1 extra second is huge. Science tells us that when people look at each other for a long time, it makes their hearts beat faster and makes them feel closer. It is a way of saying that she has seen you and registered who you are. We do not look at people who do not interest us for that long. Our bodies do not want to spend that energy, and here is the part most men never notice. She looks back. That second look is never an accident. It is her checking to make sure of what she felt. Think about how you act. When you see something that is boring, you do not look again. But when you see something you like, you look twice. You want to see if it is as good as you thought. She is doing the same thing. The first look is because she is curious. The second look is because she is brave. She is quietly asking, "Did you see me too?" Being confident in that moment is not about staring back in a hard way, it is about being steady and calm. It is about a soft look and a small smile. If this has happened to you, you are not a ghost, you are being seen. The second sign is being close to you. Men who are attractive have a way of pulling people toward them like a magnet. You might notice that women often stand near you. They might join a group you are already talking to. They might pick the chair right next to you, even when there are plenty of other empty seats in the room. This is not just luck. It is her putting herself in your path. Women do not often chase a man directly, but they definitely create a chance for you to talk to them. Scientists have studied this, and they found that just being near someone makes us like them more. By being close to you, she is making it easier for a conversation to start. She is putting herself where you have to notice her. I once talked to a man who was in his early 60s. He felt like no one ever saw him anymore. At his favorite spot to sit, the same woman had sat right next to him 3 times in a row. He thought it was just a coincidence. It was not. The moment he stopped doubting himself and started noticing her, everything changed. He began to talk to her with a quiet, calm feeling. When you have good energy, it pulls people in. You just have to be aware of it. The third sign is that people really listen when you speak. Have you ever noticed that when you start talking, the other little conversations in the room get quiet? Have you seen people turn their whole bodies to face you? That is called having presence. It is one of the most powerful ways to be attractive. Some experts call this the halo effect. When we think someone is special, we naturally give them our attention. We want to hear what they have to say. This becomes even more powerful as you get older, like when you are 40, 50, or 60. When you are young, you might have to shout to be heard, but when you are older, your voice has a weight to it. You do not need to be the loudest person in the room. You just need to be solid. Try this next time you talk. Speak a little bit slower. Make your voice a little deeper. Pause for a moment before you answer. Silence makes people listen even closer. If you have ever felt that people listen to you without you having to ask for it, you already have a special kind of pull. Sign number 4 is something we call copying or mirroring. This is very quiet. You might not even see it at first, but your body sees it. Your body is very smart. It knows when someone feels safe. When we feel safe, we start to move like the other person. If you lean back in your chair, she might lean back too. If you take a sip of water, she might reach for her glass a moment later. This is her brain saying, I am like you. I am safe with you. It is a beautiful dance that happens without anyone saying a word. This is not her trying to be like you on purpose. It is a biological response. It means her body feels at peace near you. And for a woman, feeling safe is the most important thing before she can really like someone. Here is a little trick. Try to move just a tiny bit to match how she is sitting. Do not make it look like a game, just a small move. You will see how much closer you feel almost right away. Attraction is not usually loud. It is hidden in layers of energy. Now we are moving into things that go even deeper than how we move our bodies. Sign 5 is the one that surprises men the most because it sounds like a nice thing to say, but it actually means so much more. Sign 5 is when she gives you a compliment that is not just about how you look. If a woman says, "You look nice today," that is just on the surface. We decide if someone looks nice very quickly, in just a second. But when she says something like, "I really like your energy," or "I feel very comfortable when I am with you," or "There is something different about you," she is talking about who you are inside. She is talking about your presence, not just your face or your clothes. We know that feeling safe and being real are the 2 biggest things that make people stay attracted for a long time. When a woman tells you she feels comfortable around you, she is saying her heart and mind can relax when you are there. That is a very strong pull that most men do not understand. I worked with a man in his late 50s who was a widower. He was very quiet and did not try to be flashy, but women always told him, "You are so easy to talk to." He thought they were just being polite, but he was wrong. He was a good listener and did not try to impress anyone. He did not feel he had to talk every second. His calm way of being made women feel safe. He thought he was just an average guy, but to them he was solid ground to stand on. There is a big difference. The next time someone tells you they like your vibe or your energy, do not just brush it off. Just say, "Thank you. That means a lot to me." You will feel more confident when you stop pushing away the good things people say about you. Sign 6 is that you catch people looking at you more than once. You might see people looking from across the room or giving you a quick look as they walk by. Here is what is going on. All humans are built to scan the area around them to see who is important. We naturally notice people who stand tall, look calm, and have good energy. It is not about having a perfect body. It is about how you carry yourself. When you walk into a place and people stop talking for a second, or when someone looks and then looks away fast, that is them noticing you. Many men miss this because they are waiting for something big to happen, like a woman waving them over. But attraction usually shows up in how people track you with their eyes. Here is something you can try. Next time you go out, do not look at your phone. Do not look at the ground. Keep your shoulders relaxed and your chin up. Walk slowly and look around the room with a calm face. You might be surprised how many people are looking back at you. Now, we are going to talk about the 2 signs that are hidden deep down. Sign 7 has nothing to do with what a woman does, but it is one of the strongest signs there is. Sign 7 is about how other men act when you are around. This is very important because women watch how men treat each other. Men are built to figure out who is the leader. It is something we have done since the beginning of time. The way other men treat you tells a woman a lot about you. If other men respect you, it looks like this. They do not talk over you. They ask you what you think. They introduce you to their friends in a good way. They look to you for a lead. On the other hand, if men feel they have to compete with you, it looks different. They might try to show off. They might try to act bigger than you when a woman walks in. They might make jokes to put you down. Both of these things show you have value. Respect means you are seen as a good man. Competition means you are seen as a strong rival. Women notice this without even thinking about it. When other men treat you like you matter, women feel that you are a high-value man. And the best part is that the most attractive men do not have to fight for respect. They just have it. Real confidence does not need to get loud. It stays calm. When you are with a group, do you start shouting to be heard, or do you stay solid? If men treat you with respect, or if they try to compete with you, you are someone who matters. And the women in the room are watching. Sign 8 is when people say things like, "I cannot believe you are still single," or "I am sure you have lots of women talking to you." They might even say, "You probably say that to everyone." These things usually happen early on. Why do they say this? Because you do not act like you are desperate. Being desperate has a very specific feel. It looks like texting too much, explaining yourself too much, or always looking for someone to tell you that you are doing a good job. Having abundance energy feels different. It is calm and patient. It does not rush to get close. It does not cling to people. Women are very good at feeling if a man feels like he has many choices, or if he feels like he has none. If she feels that you are okay whether she picks you or not, she will think you are more valuable. You might not actually have lots of women waiting for you, but if you act like a man who does, people will believe it. How people see you becomes your reality. When women think you are wanted by others, they want to know why. Let me ask you now. Do you act like a man who is happy with just a few crumbs, or do you act like a man who picks what he wants carefully? That one question can change your whole life. If you recognized even 2 or 3 of these signs, you are likely much more attractive than you think you are. The problem is usually not how you look. The problem is that you do not own how great you are. Here is a strange thing I have seen after many years of studying how people act. The men who are truly attractive are often the ones who know it the least. Why is that? It is because most men were taught to judge themselves only by what they can see. They ask, did she say yes to a date? Did she text me back? If the answer is not a clear yes, they think they failed. But attraction does not work like a score in a game. It works like a slow river. It is quiet and it moves under the surface. If you were taught to only look for big things, you might have missed all the small signs that people liked you. Let me tell you about a man named Daniel. He was 64 years old and had been divorced for 7 years. He was sure that no woman would ever be interested in him again. He thought he was just a background character in a movie. But when we looked at his life, we saw a different story. Women at his gym always chose the machine next to him. The lady who his coffee remembered his name and always leaned in to talk to him. At parties, women laughed at his jokes and asked him more questions. He ignored all of it because no one had come out and said they loved him. He was waiting for something that almost never happens. He did not know that his calm way, his pauses, and his steady eyes were like a magnet. But because he did not feel good about himself on the inside, his brain ignored all the good signs on the outside. This is called only seeing what you already believe. If you think you are not attractive, your brain will literally hide the signs that you are. So, the work you need to do is not about how you look. It is not about how old you are. It is not about learning lines to say to women. The work is inside you. And here is the most important thing I will tell you. You can change how you see yourself. You do not have to be arrogant, you just have to be aware. Here is the first exercise. It is called the evidence journal. At the end of every day this week, write down one good thing that happened when you were with other people. Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe someone looked at you for a long time. Maybe someone leaned in when you spoke. Do not try to figure out why it happened. Just write it down. Over time, your brain will start to see that the old things you believed were wrong. You will start to see yourself in a new way. The second exercise is about your body. Before you go into a room with other people, take 3 slow breaths. Breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4, then breathe out for 6. Relax your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. This simple thing tells your body that you are safe. When you are calm, your energy changes. People can feel it before you even say a word. The third exercise is to look at your past. Think of 3 times in life when a woman clearly liked you, even if it did not turn into a long relationship. Write them down. Now ask yourself, how was I acting then? Were you relaxed? Were you just having fun? Were you not trying so hard to be liked? Attraction is strongest when you are just being yourself without worrying about what others think. That version of you is the one people want to be near. When you stop asking if you are attractive, you start asking a different question. Instead of saying, I hope she likes me, you start asking, is she the kind of person I want to be around? That shift changes everything. When a man is calm and making his own choices instead of looking for someone to tell him he is good enough, his energy becomes solid. He does not feel like he is grasping for something. That quiet curiosity makes it easy for women to open up to him. Having standards is attractive. Being picky is attractive. Being desperate goes away when you start to have your own rules. Imagine this. You walk into a room, your shoulders are down and relaxed, your eyes are steady. You are not looking around for someone to notice you. You are just there. You say hello to the person who invited you. You have one good talk with someone. You laugh because you feel like laughing. You leave when you are ready. Across the room, a woman sees you. She feels how calm you are. She sees that you do not need anything from anyone. She sees how other men treat you with respect. She sees that you are not chasing, and slowly she moves a little bit closer to you. This is how attraction really works. It is not like fireworks. It is quiet. It is slow. It is very strong. You will miss it if you are still looking for something loud and obvious. If you really believed you were an attractive man, not just in your face, but in your energy, how would you act tomorrow? Would you be more calm? Would you look people in the eye for just one more second? Would you stop worrying about every little thing? That change can start right now. Being attractive is not something you go out and catch. It is something you carry inside you. Once you see that, you stop wondering where you stand. You stand tall, and the right person will feel it. Remember that you are seen, and you are much more than you think. Keep being steady, keep being calm, and keep being you. The world needs that kind of man. Stay strong,